When I was in junior high in Moose Jaw, all the schools would get together at the end of the school year and have a great big track and field day at Guthridge Field. And so this one year, we all went over there and I signed up. You had to sign up for at least 5 events or something like that. And I signed up for all my events. And at the end of the day, we were talking about who did what and how we finished and all these sorts of things. And I realized that I only got a silver ribbon while most of my other buddies got gold. And they were bugging me about getting this silver ribbon. And I was like, well, how did that happen? And I got thinking about it. I got looking at what they had done and what I had done, and I had entered all the tough events. I had entered the the 100 meters. I did hurdles. I did relay races. I ran like 7,000 kilometer runs. I don't know. It felt like that anyway. It was hot that day. But the one thing I do remember for sure was that I went in shot put. Now, looking at me, you would know I'm not a good shot putter. I'm not a huge guy, right? So why am I doing shot put? But I thought that's one of the things I had to do. Then I realized that every other guy in my class had done softball throwing instead of shot put. Now, this isn't an insult to the girls, but I thought softball throwing was a girls' event. So I did shot putting, while the big, strong, toughest guys in our school were heaving softballs all the way down the field and getting gold ribbons for it. Why am I telling you this? Well, in a way, I sort of feel like I've done that to myself again, because I decided just before this pandemic thing started that I was going to preach my way through 2 Timothy, and it is hard. There are some really difficult verses to deal with. In some ways, I wish I was in Romans 8 or maybe the Beatitudes or something a lot easier than 2 Timothy chapter 3. But 2 Timothy chapter 3 is where I said we would be, and we're going to preach the word of God, and so that's where we are. So 2 Timothy chapter 3 verses 1 through 5 is really a difficult passage to do much with. Paul's talking about the end of times and how bad people will be at the end of time. In fact, he lists 18 qualities that will define how bad people will be. I'm not going to give you an 18-point sermon because that might take a while. But I did, after reading it and thinking about it and praying about it, reading it some more, I did find a pathway through it. In fact, I found a thread that ties everything together, a thread that still applies to us. And in fact, this very, very difficult passage might be one of the best things we need to hear right now. It's perfect. The sermon comes from 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. Go ahead and read that and see what you might do with it. The sermon I will give you on Sunday is called, Who Do You Love? That one question is going to be really, really important. I hope you're able to watch it. I hope you pass the sermon on to other people. I hope you pass this video on to others who might want to watch the sermon because it might help them think ahead a little bit as well. And I'll even invite some of your feedback. I don't want people arguing with me constantly, but it would be fun to get some conversation going both directions too. So the sermon will be posted by midnight on Saturday night, so it's accessible to whoever wants it sometime on Sunday. There you go. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Sunday.